The old man built. The old man built. The old man built. The old man built. The old man builds is broken in the head. People not seeing reality has put them in the red. Where conscious and spirituality restricted from the norm and replaced with the ignorance of basic magnetic form. The geometry of God keeps running through his head. That's what makes old man builds broken in the head. The old man builds. The old man builds. Spheres of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to instead. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds.
Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Nathan, otherwise known as the Old Man Builds. What is going on today, guys? Hey, real quick, first thing, man, heads up. Yanni, awesome, brother, became a member, man. Right on, man. Appreciate it, brother. Oh, man, here we go. Everybody's getting to show up, brother. Nice. Oh, man. Today I just figured we'd talk and see what's going on, man. See what's going on with the community out there. What are you guys working on and stuff? I know my list just keeps getting longer. Every time I turn around, man, there's more stuff to do. So I've been working my podcast in the morning every morning. Just so you guys know, put it up right here. I do about an hour in the morning, somewhere right around 4:45 in the morning for me, Pacific Standard Time. I just do about an hour of talking in the morning. Nothing too crazy or outlandish, man. But yeah, we hook up and talk on that. I have the Cap Bank on Esty if you guys wanted to purchase one of those. Also have Tesla coils on there, or you contact me directly. So yeah, also real quick, guys, Bob Greenyer did an awesome video, just as a heads up. Talked about every single thing that we're talking about with all the proper terms in it, in case you wanted to check that out. It was about 2.5 hours long, I think it was. Man, it went right into the field bubble. We're creating all kinds of stuff, the energy that's coming out of our Tesla coil, everything. I believe it's all the same thing, man. The way he describes it is exactly how I would describe what's coming out of my coil. So I think that's pretty cool. Oh, man, thank you very much for that. Going on, brother? Yeah, we're getting down to it. I really think we are. In a lot of ways, we're getting down to what's really going on here. There's only so many ways you could slice a thing, man, and we're getting there. I mean, we're learning something really cool. One thing I didn't share on that podcast, which I was sharing with other people who were asking questions about it, is I'm close to breaking a barrier in this, and I have my primary running coil, and I have 6 other coils. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to get a runaway started. So I've gotten this thing. I started about 12 volts, and I got the resonance to go to each one of the coils, and then I'm turning down the original coil. So the main driving coil for all of it, I'm turning it down now. I'm at about 5 volts right now. And dare I say, I think I'll be at 4 or 3 tomorrow. But that's pretty good, man. I mean, at some point, my ZVS, my ZVS is just going to shut off on me. So what we're doing is we're trying to resonate one, then the next, then the next, and the next, and the next, right? And get them going in a pattern. Now I have it in a hexagon pattern. And as soon as I do that last turn off, man, lately I've done it and they turn off. I mean, they'll run for, a couple seconds and then they'll shut off. I'm trying to get it where it loops, where it just runs all of them continuously and gets a runaway. So it's pretty cool. I think what's going on, though, it's a failure in the product that I'm using. I'm using PVC pipe, and I should be using a cardboard pipe instead and just lacquer it, sand it, and wind it. And I think that's what I'm going to go to next, because I'm getting impedance from it. And I think it's halting the process because the relationship between the outer coil and what's going on the inside coil, or not inside coil, but the inside of it, is a relationship that I have to be able to get cleaned up. So yeah, we are getting there. Dude, it is hot outside. I live in California, man. It's blazing hot. My air conditioner's been on all day today, and I still can't get away from the heat. The cold front's coming, man. Last time it was a cold front, it was like a week ago, and all it did was rain, and then boom, instantly it was hot again. Get the California weather's a little different. Yeah, but we got some cool things going on, man, with the Tesla coils, and then I'm still working on the other coil, the cone coil. It's taken a little while. I wound part of it, had to unwind part of it, didn't like it whatsoever. So I was going to go with the thinner gauge wire. It wasn't coming out, so I went back to the thicker gauge wire. So it's on my desk right now over here, getting ready to be wound. I'll have that done here tonight, and then I'm going to hit that epoxy on it. So just, I haven't had much time, guys. I've been running out prints all day. My 3D printers aren't shutting off. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm trying to get to a goal so that I can put in my next store. So we're going to go to, what is that, Shopify? But I need to make sure I have a little bit of inventory in stock. So I literally spent $1,500 in products to bring up inventory. So I have enough coils. I have enough PMPs. I have enough ZVSs. I have enough Cap 8s. So I've been stocking up like crazy, man. And then, taking the time to go in there and modify everything. It's taking a while, man. Where do I buy my electronic parts from? Basically, most of them I get at Amazon. And then every once in a while, I go to the Mauser, is what I think it's called. And then I pick up all my caps there, the Vima, VIMA caps. I picked those all up there. I have it in the video for the cap video if you wanted to go pick those up. By all means, you can. You get them there. Everything else I got from Amazon. So oh, the resin, you know what? That video is awesome. I get the names wrong, guys, but I'm not getting the actual what's going on part wrong. I'll be very honest with you. I'm not physicist. We all know that. I'm a guy in my garage. I look at what the definition is and I try to explain it based on the definition. I'm better off not giving you the name of it and just giving you the definition of what's going on. I do try. That's what's going on, man. We are literally using resonance to do everything. And it's just a starting block. What I find usually when I get into a resonance experiment and I have more than one thing, it usually what happens is I'm turning down all the power part just so that the resonance signal comes out very clear. When it comes out very clear, man, things start to turn on and they start to give me more power. I don't know how to explain that other than to say just what it does. And, when you see something like that and you're close, you got to keep pushing to it. And that's what I keep doing. I've been building like crazy to get these coils out, man. And I wish I would have changed earlier to some kind of a cardboard instead of the PVC. But the PVC, is what I make for everybody. So we'll have to see if there's a faster way to get those things lacquered and done, because it takes a long time, guys. It just takes time to dry. And I like to get things done in a day. You know what I mean? I'll wind like 12 coils in a day. You know what I mean? And just spray them out because I want to get it done, man. I put on my little glasses. The little glasses go down here by the edge of your nose, man. And I rock out with all kinds of tunes in the background. And I just start running these things, man, one after the other. And the 32 gauge is a real pain in the butt because I can't use my automatic winder. So I have to wind up my hand still. And it has to do with it, like stretching the wire and get rid of enamel on it. Nobody wants that. So I just do it by hand. So I use lacquer on it, to be honest with you. The next step is resin on the cone coil, it's going to be resin, not going to be lacquer. And if I like the way it comes out in self levels, I'll start switching to that. So, but we're going to have to see what what goes on in the coil when we turn it on too. I just got to make sure. I know Sean uses it, so I'm sure it's probably okay. Why make Tesla coils? Well, if you watch the channel, you will understand that it puts out a very particular thing in the middle of it. And it's got energy that comes out of it that's not exactly normal. And because of that, that's why I use it. And believe it or not, and whatever you think about it, we're making field bubbles with it because it holds in other energy. And that's what this particular type of energy is doing. So that's why I put up Bob Granger's thing. If you look at the top of the comments, you'll see it. There's a link. He does 2.5 hours on a show, and I'm telling you right now, that's what we're doing. He's describing the energy that comes out of this coil in the center when you do it right. So, I mean, that's all I'll say about it, and I'll let him do it. By all means, I don't know all those words. He does, but he knows in my heart. So the best thing I could do is keep showing it and what I'm doing, what I'm getting, because I think I got the same thing he's talking about. So you could dilute resin spray for bottles, then dry it under UV normal. But we need more than one coat. I was thinking that. So the process that I saw was a pretty thick coat that the guy put on there. And what he did is he had a little popper thing and he just applied a little bit of heat to it so that you get the bubbles that come out of it. And then he used a little sucker to get them out. I don't know that that's necessarily exactly what I'll do, but I'll run a test run and see, what the best way is. Usually you get a flow for something after 2 or 3 tries. So that's what I think I'm going to do, to be honest with you. See. What's up, good man? What's going on? Your issue of space is scared Tesla coil might damage stuff. Yes and no. It depends which one you use. If you're worried about that kind of stuff, don't use the PNP. Use the ZVS. It's got a particular frequency that you put into it, and it'll only turn things on at that frequency. The PNP will turn on everything. It's a real wake up call. So I wouldn't use that. But if you had a ZVS, you'd be fine. Most people that use it, they turn it in front of their TV, everything, man. They're not having much of an issue. So don't forget the hair dryer. Yeah. I got a heat gun, but it may put off too much heat. I think you're right. I'm going to have to go over and take the wife's hair dryer. She'll love that. I already took her reading glasses in order to widen these coils, man. Yeah, you still need to do the PMP. Well, give them both a try, man. If you're worried about space, do it outside and just check it out and see what you got going on. Let's see. Would I get more compression of the rod down the center if the center point of the tube, the primary, was up higher instead of at the base? Well, as soon as you move that primary up and you get any length underneath it, you've created a bipolar Tesla coil. So the rod down the center doesn't work the same at all. Because you're building bipolar, as soon as you build bipolar, you don't need the ground. So you're changing the coil altogether as soon as you bring it off of the ground and change that. So if you want to build a bipolar Tesla coil, just build a bipolar Tesla coil. But as soon as, yes, it's meant to be one pole only, that coil. But like I said, you can build a bipolar one and just move it anywhere along the line. As long as you have maybe like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of winding on the outside of it, it's bipolar. It has a different understanding to it. It'll allow you to move the number one coil back and forth, but then one side becomes more magnetized and one side becomes more statically active, if you want to say it that way. Oh, let's see. Wrap mylar around the PVC pipe, wrap the coil in that, epoxy outside, and remove the mylar. So you're basically saying put the winding in epoxy so that it's a winding only, so that you no longer have an inner tube. I thought about that exact thing. So it's a bit tricky, it looks like, to pull off if you don't have that number 2 winding set. You know what I mean? If the epoxy doesn't set around it properly, that might be a bit difficult to do. But interesting, I thought about the same thing, because you get rid of all the problems then, except for whatever the epoxy is. That doesn't seem to bother much. Nice. What are you gonna do? You're gonna slap a few of them in the old car? My son dropped off here yesterday. Nice. It's fun, man. Yeah, that's why I build those coils, man. I build other coils too. I just haven't had time to get back to them. I do the rodent coil, I do the geometry coil. I just haven't had much time, man. I've been seriously dedicating a ton of time into putting out inventory and getting it ready to go. So yeah, you can see coils behind me all over back there. I'm running out of room to put them, but I have to do it. So yeah, I'm getting ready to buy a whole bunch of stuff for research and get some new equipment. So I got to sell a bunch of stuff to do it. Well, let's see. Okay, so if it's rotating while it's drying, I don't it won't be problematic. Okay, but it acts as glue. Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna do. Like Sean showed on his rotisserie, I was gonna use my winding motor and just make different ends for it so that I can rotate this thing. That was it. Just gonna rotate at a very calm, slow speed, and then apply the resin over top and just take one of those squeegee looking plastic things and just kind of move it. You know what I mean? And just kind of work it back and forth and see how it works. My concern with the other coil that I'm doing is it's at a slant. So there's going to be pockets that fill up like this, right? Because you got these two things like this, and then the little pockets in the middle like this, and you fill it up. I wanted to see if I couldn't smooth it all the way down, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. Maybe if it hardens fairly fast, then it might be possible to get a nice clean glaze over the top. Get one to a local grower. He will love the plant reaction to the one wire water. Yeah. That's probably one of the best things this thing does, man. Hey, how's it going, man? Okay. Use silicone. Okay. Okay. Maybe a couple layers. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So I just got to make sure in case there's I don't think there is, but like concrete, you have to put on a layer, stick them before you put on the next layer of concrete. I just need to make sure that resin doesn't have that. I don't think that it does, though. I haven't seen that anywhere. But I'm hoping I can get it semi-hardened, you know what I mean? And then drop the next layer on top of it. Kind of like, if you ever did lacquer, like you should do them for cabinets. So what you would do is you'd spray your sanding sealer, then you'd sand everything down, get it nice, you know what I mean? Use about 220 grit, so you leave some lines in there so that it can grab hold. And then you'd spray it. And just before it started to dry, right after it tacked, but right before it started to dry, you can hit it with another layer. And then you do it 3 times. So what would happen is it builds the layer one on top of the other without standing. And you get a beautiful, just shining glaze, man. That's just, legendary looking. But I hate sanding in between it because it didn't do me any good. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like a waste of my time. it was better just to build the layers and coats based on the drying time. I'm hoping that this stuff works the same way, at least a little bit. If I see that it's starting to, sludge up and get there, then I'll try to just get a nice clean coat over it. So you're saying I have to wait? Okay. Well, there goes that idea. It'll melt into the last layer of contact. Well, that might be okay. I just can't have it fall out like big boogers coming off the thing itself. I'll see it as soon as it goes on, man. I'll see it. It'll show what it's going to do. I'll go slow at first and just check it out and then put it on there. I'm kind of excited, man. This is the first time I'm doing the resin, so I'm excited about doing it. I've been wanting to do resin projects that are bigger for tables and stuff, and this will be my first time working with it. Let's see. Stacking dielectrics to make them stronger dielectrics. Constants. Nice. Fishing layer channel uses resin to coat, and it looks awesome. Nice. Just looking through the dielectric constant of the various thickness of mylar and the stack thickness. Okay, what if you made a reasonable mold and put the coils into it and drop the loads and resin and pop out? Well, see, Sean made a mold and he had trouble getting it off of the thing because of the way it hardens on there. So I wanted to try his second method, which he showed on the rotisserie first. You know what I mean? And to try that. If not, we're going to the mold, and then I'll wish I had a lathe, because then it wouldn't matter, man. I would have put it in the mold first thing and just lathed it out. You know what I mean? Perfectly the way that I want it to look. But if it doesn't come out, you know what I mean, in a decent fashion, we'll have to do that. What I'm really concerned about, to be very honest with you, it could look like crap, but I care that it functions. That's really, really what it. Aesthetics is just because I'm sure you guys like me, like everything to look pretty and nice. I think I'll fall into that category on the second or third build. It'll start to become perfect. What I really care about is that wire. I don't want it to burn to the next one. And if I can get that, yeah, I'm going to be happy, because I'll be able to pull a lot of testings out of it. And if I could do that, man, then we'll find out what this thing really does. And we'll run everything through it. Let me just tell you that right now. I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to run it as a Tesla claw. I'm going to run it with a ZVS, you know what I mean? Or a flyback, I should say. And then flyback, AC flyback with multipliers on it. We're just going to find out exactly which way this thing wants to work. You know what I mean? And sometimes it'll be easy. Sometimes it's going to suck. So just got to figure it out, throw everything at it and see what it does. And we'll go from there. Thermal blanket. That's interesting. Yeah, we'll see, man. The last time I ran an AC flyback that was built somewhat like this, it lasted a whole 1 minute because there was no resin on it, and it wasn't in any kind of mineral oil or anything. Once you get resin mixing down and repetition and practice makes it good, perfect. Yeah, I agree with that. I'll have no problem with that. If both wires have a similar structure, step them out of the voltage resistance you need. I'm concerned on this coil because of the number one windings going into it. I honestly think I'll be building several of them. I built it to go the geometry shape, so I don't want to say this. It looks like a diamond, right? So I built the primary to be right here, just like that, and about a 1/2 inch off. My concern is I think it needs a W. So it would be the winding on the outside, the coil on the inside, and then the winding on the outside, if you know what I mean. I think it honestly may need that. And just the way these crazy things have been running. Yeah, we'll see. That's a lot of voltage, man. 100,000 volts. We're going to go DC and AC on it, so we may hit that. Well, it was just, oh man, I don't want to say it. I think that one was just due to heat. Because it has a core in it, and this one won't have a core in it. I think honestly it was just too much heat. The ZVL gave it too much heat. So I think that's all it was. So you need to sand before each next layer before adding it. That's for the grip, right? It's got to get in there and grip something, just like every kind of paint does. This look, this thing has no cooling built into it. It literally is a cone and a cone, a primary on the outside, and it's round as a bipolar Tesla coil. I think it'll be fine, man. I haven't used resin on the other ones. The part that I needed the resin for is you're building a cavity into it. So each layer is built down a little bit, and then it has a cavity. You know what I mean, like this. So, and then we're stacking the wire on top, one on top of the other before we go to the next one. Then we're stacking it again. That's what we're doing here. So when you start doing that, there's wire to wire and not just, one on top of the other like a normal coil would be. These are stacked the other way. Now, is that going to matter much in the end? Who knows? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. You know what I mean? I may be able to run it without putting resin on it. The reason I wanted the resin there was the extra protection. You know what I mean? For everything else, it's going to be pretty tightly wound. And I'm going 20 gauge on it. So, and I know that's too heavy for most things, but I'm going to rip some voltage to this sucker real heavily. And then we'll make a second coil with 32 gauge wire. Real small is the next one. So we'll see. You know what I mean? We're just throwing things at the wall right now to see what sticks on this coil. That's what we're doing. Quite honestly, that's all we're doing. Is, hey, what works, what doesn't work, and where's the next step? That's why I'm not overly concerned with everything. It's just get it done, make sure that we don't spark over internally, and then, you know what I mean? Let's get it. So I got the winding machine out now. It's a hand crank, and to be honest with you, 20 gauge goes very fast. So it doesn't take long to put it on there. I mean, we're talking about an hour. Man, I spend longer than that on winding 32 gauge, and I blow out my eyesight over a day, and I have headaches for the next 2 days. So, yeah, that 20 gauge will feed no problem. Oh, no. I've already checked out a couple windings on it. You know what I mean? Once I printed it out to see how well it sits in there, and I'm pretty happy with that. There's two things I want to change. So, for instance, and I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but I need a gauge list. So I need to print things out with a certain head on the printer. So I got a 0.06 nozzle that I use for most everything. And then we go down to the 0.04 and the 0.02 is what Sean uses for some of this stuff. So I'm going to have to do it in those and then print each one out with layer distances based on the wire diameter. And then just see how comfortably it layers in there one on top of the next. And then I'll have to make a chart out of it because I'll be honest with you. I just want to be able to put it in my CAD and, you know what I mean, be able to mirror it. So I put it in a couple times, mirror it all the way up until you get this thing, you know what I mean, stacked. And then that way it goes very fast to build these things out. And you know how you zoom in and stuff on your CAD, it makes it very easy to do that. So once we have that list, then we could build anything we want based on that design. Now, if we were just filling it up with wire, like, you know what I mean? It was yay big and we filled it up. Oh, I wouldn't care. Then I'd just put it wherever the heck I wanted it. But that's not exactly what he was doing. So I kind of want to try to keep it to what he's doing. So, and we put the rod holder all the way down to the center so that it is designed a little better. And then as it winds, it's going to be on the rod as it winds. And then the one thing that I think I will do in there, and Dennis suggested it, was put those little holders in there, the insets, because I want to be able to change the rod length inside of it when I change the rod. So basically, we got about this much distance in there. I want the rods to be about this long each, one on each side. We may want to, bring that back and forth. If you bring it too close, you're going to get a spark between them, and I don't want to blow out the inside of the thing. It just, you know what I mean. So we'll have to look at that. Maybe we'll have to put one in and then shove in some goop in there or whatever. Who knows? Wow. Seriously? Uh let's see. Solder gun inserts work well. Well, you have these. And you just get these on Amazon. I give them a whole pack. They're threaded inserts. So yeah, as soon as you hit your soldering iron on them, they melt right in. And they have that little threaded part right there so that it'll hold in there. Those, yeah, heat insert. There you go. Yeah, it works great. So that's what I got here, and you see the diameter of it. That's what the ones I'm going to put into it right there. So yeah, get some good depth on it. Though another thing I was looking at when Sean did it, he said he had to cut off the top of his coil. It couldn't go all the way to a point like this. So I'm just going to be conscious of that and drop it off a little early on both sides. So yeah, soldering iron. I think you mean the same thing. I had one back in the day. They looked like little guns, and you would solder with them. That's what they used to look like. Now they're just, straight iron. So, yeah, and then there's an insert tool, and if you want to, I don't do it. I lay iron right across the top of it and then go down in there. Nice. Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about those, unfortunately. I haven't got around that thing yet. Every time I try to talk about that, I get a message from YouTube telling me to shut my mouth. So, yeah, they're nicer than that, but you get the hint. Uh, nice. Yep. There you go, right there. Just a heat insert with a tip. Yeah. It just gets caught once in a while. That's why I like to, you get it started a little bit and then you put it over top. It makes it work a little easier. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, man. Time Energy out there is doing real good work. He's allowed to talk about it in where he lives. So he's been getting away with it. So I go on his channel and leave him messages every once in a while what it does. And he's been getting them. So, man, yeah, it just works a different way. It goes back to Dennis when you said about the plant, why it loves it so much. It allows that flow to happen and it opens it up for flow. Unlike structured water, which tightens up the flow and makes everything, all the water, go in a real strict pattern, this energy actually opens it up so that it can flow better. So there's a lot of benefits in that. What about Secret Service? Not worried about Secret Service coming to my house. Not in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not trying to build something with microwaves and stuff. That's when they start showing up. Or you try to do something that makes lasers. That, yeah, I don't do any of that stuff. Not really worried about it. I can't, man. I live between two military bases. They'll find that quicker than anything. Um, Let's see. Also, material itself is vibrating. Honestly, I don't think we're gonna have a problem with that. I think the whole thing is to get it started and going. Which, to be honest with you, I hope it just works. One of the more interesting things that came up in a discussion that I had was if you take a regular cylinder Tesla coil, right, as your primary, and you get a resonance frequency out of it, can a number two coil by itself, instead of it being the same exact type of coil and geometry, can we change the geometry if the frequency itself is the same? So can you build say a round ball as the winding, and it matches the frequency? Would it do the same thing that your regular cylinder one would do? It's a curious question, and I hope to answer it in doing some of this. I hope when I get there, I get the frequency, because you never know, because of it pinches and stuff and changes the capacitance. You never know, man. So I wanted to try it. I think it's going to be awesome. Build same transmitted microphone into the under its place. Interesting. I kind of like to do my own thing. About the same people recorded it all, and the strange noises all over and sound identical to the videos made at the time. Let's see. We're just using a testicle attack process. Looks like the effects process now digitally. Let's see. Using a super long coil suspended in a stretch, it gives reverb and sound passing through it. Interesting. Interesting. Nice. Okay. Interesting stuff, guys. Learn something new every day. I'll check out the video on that. That is actually interesting. One thing I asked myself too is if this thing truly is pulling in the energy like I think it is, I should be able to capture that somehow. Smoke, something. There's got to show the swirl somewhere. So that would go a long way to kind of proving that part out and being done with it. So I think it's worth a try. We'll get some incense. Joe uses that. It seems to work pretty well. And we'll put it right under it and see if it's making a vortex. We'll put it right over it. I think it's a fair test. I'd love to see this thing in water and see if it turns on in water, number one, and if it runs. And I'm not talking connect to my primer or anything to it. I just take the whole number two coil, put it in water, and put it next to my other coil and see if it runs. And if it does, what does it do? It's always interesting. You know what I mean? What are you going to lose? A coil? I mean, I'll just tape the thing with duct tape on the outside if I have to. I don't care. You know what I mean? I want to see what the reaction on the inside is. Nice. Would be interesting to use similar tech to create an easy path to drain atmospheric voltage and amperage. Nice. Yeah, if you wanted to catch that stuff, you can do it with coil, no problem. Yeah, antenna. We saw, Inventor 3, when he came on the channel, he was showing his, and you could put up an antenna and it'll bring energy down, and you can put it in caps. You can also take a pipe and run it into the ground and pull energy from it and put it into the caps. You could take the two together and create a capacitor like this that moves up and down, and it'll give you energy. And the higher up you go in the sky, the more energy you're going to get. Nice. ORP meter. What's your ORP meter do, Eighth? Probably the most antenna drains. Some of the atmospheric voltage is once it's grounded to the tip, the antenna drops to zero voltage. Yeah, well, we don't want to ground it. We never wanted ground on that. We wanted open. I agree with you there. Do you remember what service device Sheila said she was using? If I had the one that she was using, so let me just make this clear. If I knew what she was using in order to see all that, I would buy it. I would literally go down and buy it. Okay. And that's 100% for sure, because then I'd be able to see everything. So maybe unseen. Yeah. I need a way to pulse it. It only allows build back up between the pulses, and anti-gate is also returned to the higher voltage faster. Yeah. You gotta drop it into something and not the ground. That's for sure. It measures water's electrical potential. Okay. All right. We'll do that. Sounds interesting. Right on, Ulysses, man. Thank you very much, brother. I really do appreciate that, man. Thank you. Off topic, what kind of shock with Billy Carson's Smashing Pumpkins information about a celebrity who saw a shape shift? Really? So Alex Jones is protected by the USA, or by the CIA. Sorry. Let me just say this about all these people in these communities, okay? I'll just be as clear and blunt as I possibly can. They all talk a good game. They all sell all these books. Unless you're showing me hieroglyphs or something, and you're trying to translate it into something useful, you're kind of a grifter. I don't care what the government does. When is that going to get me a patent that I can follow and build to make a UFO? When? Never. All it is talking. How do we know if you met with the president or not? How do I care? I mean, what the hell do I care about that? You know what I mean? I want plans on how to build this stuff. I want to see that we're building it. Okay. The only thing they told us for the last 25 years is there might be an alien somewhere. They showed me stupid eggs. They tried to get me with a guy with his eyes bugging out like this. You know what I mean? I mean, for God's sakes, man, what else are you going to try? I get a little tired of it. I mean, seriously? I don't care what your contact is. I can't contact him. So how the hell would I know he's a good contact? You know what I mean? Like, let's say a bunch of stuff that you can never prove and make it sound smart, because that's what they're doing. Give me somebody who's going to help the community build something that lifts. That's what I want. That's it. I don't need a grifter's garbage. I just don't. Okay? I don't need any of it. I don't care. Contact CIA, you know what I mean? NSA. I don't give a crap. I don't want any part of it, because I don't need you coming to my house and start taking my stuff. Okay? For even looking into what you're doing. No, thank you. No, thank you. Keep all that garbage away from me as far as you possibly can. Okay? No. I'm not sending letters to the government saying I have something. Oh yeah, let me just wave the flag over here. I'm a dumb person. Yeah, that's the way I work. No, thank you. I don't like any of that stuff. Okay? That's not my thing. I'm not into it, and I don't care about it. I literally care about what we're doing in the community. You know what I mean? What are we building? What's going on? How do we beat the system? You know what I mean? How do we do it? And I don't care about patents. Just put it out there. You know what I mean? See what other people think about it. Maybe your idea leads to a better idea that they come up with and bring back to you, and then you have a better idea on top of that. That's much more useful than we got aliens somewhere. Well, it makes a great story for a movie. Don't get me wrong. It really does. But I don't need all your drama that comes with it. Sorry, I went off on a little bit of a tangent, man. I I just don't need it, guys. I'm sorry. I like the real science. I like what Bob Greener's doing, man, and what he said, and how they're finding out that there's something out there that we're, you know, what I mean, that's not like other things that are already known. That's the cool part. Now that's giving back to the community. Here's this guy researching things, man, digging things up, tearing them apart, figuring it out, and telling us what's going on, and then coming up with the papers and research on it. Man, on the show I watched, it was so awesome. The people who hosted it were like, they were just getting information thrown on them left and right, and they didn't know what to make of it. I did. I saw the whole thing and what he said. It was awesome. So, yeah. Yeah, dude, that last video they did with that man, I think it's a husband and wife team that on YouTube that were interviewing him. Dude, he did a killer show, man. I'm telling you should watch it. We love Mondays, man. Right on, brother. Right on. Oh, yeah, I think we all love Greener. Winter, I watch him once in a while when I have time. Um, I do like him though. Yeah, Bob's stuff is awesome, man. I agree with you there, man. Let's see. He still can't replicate when I'm not sure the word. Yeah, because he does not know how it works yet. Well, that's okay. There's a lot of stuff I don't know how it works, man. I can't replicate, so I'm okay with that. At least he's going out there and doing it and finding the people that can. I think that's awesome. I'll tell you what. Let me just say it this way. Bob and what he's done has done more for the community and the information in the community than every single one of these big name UFO guys, dude. Absolutely has done that more than any other one of those people out there. Okay. Because he's bringing the real science to us. And I'm not talking about YouTubers when I say that. I'm talking about these big names, Lou Elizondo and all this. You know what I mean? Forget all that garbage, man. ADX, you're awesome, brother. Thank you very much, man. I do appreciate that, man. Going to a good cause, man. We're going to be building some cool stuff. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, he's doing a good job of getting the generator out there, too. You're right on that. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, think about it. I mean, we got someone who's putting out the science, telling you the correct verbiage to it, and looking up all the examples of how it works and why it's working and who found it. And he's giving credit to everybody that he comes across to, gives out the information. Say, I really appreciate him doing that. Now, I'll tell you who is a good researcher, to be very honest with you, is Jeremy, the alien scientist, man. He does a lot of great research on things, man, and he has a lot of answers out there. And I appreciate that kind of stuff as well, man. He's he's doing some cool stuff, brother. So yeah, I watched that, man. And I watched Ashton, man. I know they're having their thing together, man, but I watch both of them. I like how Ashton gets out there and researches stuff as well. But I'll tell you what, Barb Greener's got everybody beat, and you can't come up with that kind of information. You know what I mean? Unless you're constantly on it. So, me? Are you doing that stuff too, Society of High Sciences? Nice. Oh, little petroleum jelly, huh? What did you make out of that? Let's see. I made some, and it was incredibly simple. Pine sap, isopropyl alcohol, and a tiny bit. Dude, I don't know what you're making, but that's pretty wild. That Rosin Flux mentioned tin up to bismuth onto steel copper. Okay. Uh, don't post my research. Oh, wow. Flux. Okay. Let me go in there for a minute. I was thinking something else. That's okay. Good thing we got to the end of it real quick. Oh, man. That we're already in the hour two. We kind of go off the rails. Oh, no, he says he needs to make some. Nice. Oh, that's incredible. Oh, ancient flying technology for the Viamana. I love if it's got to do with the Viamana, I'll read it. I will take the time to read it. That book that they have it was in India that basically tells you everything about it. If you guys know what that is and have and know where I can buy a copy of it, let me know. I wanted to read that. You don't have to have a lot of was it? Sorry, rosin flux to cover the whole sheets and just still some with business. Nice. Okay. Fields. Love fields. Melt aluminum rods, huh? What about nitrogen, huh? Wow. Okay. There's some stuff I don't know. A little bit of chemicals in there. Learn some stuff. I watched that. What do they call it? Survival, and they tell you how to make little survival things in your little tin cup. No, not tin cup, but you know what I mean. Where you can actually coat things and then have them burn for a while, so that you can go through and have a torch with you, so Bigfoot doesn't get you and take advantage of you. I watch those things, man. I love those shows. Or How It's Made. Oh, one of my favorite shows ever. They tell you every process and how things are made. Nothing like what was in my mind about how they're made, but that was really cool. Uh, what about nitrogen? Nitrogen cool things down. People's favorite thing. Put it in your food these days. I worked at a soda facility, and they used to drop some of this stuff in the bottles in order to inflate water bottles. I don't know that it was any good for anybody, but they did it. They claim that Channel Book wrote, I think it was in the late 1800s or late 1900s, but I feel that was just a cover story for the guy that was actually disclosing real stuff. Interesting. Yeah, gotta work with bismuth a bit. I think it's more fascinating than it goes into lead, to be very honest with you. But then melt it back and go back to bismuth. I think that's more interesting. Uh, it also make field absorbing potential of tuning the steel sideways, causing the conduit in the magnetic field while the plates stacked up. Let's see, stuck it up. Um, okay, and blocked the other side. All right, interesting. Different effects, man. You know, we got into the Russian torsion fields and stuff like that, and I think people tuned out, man. They didn't want to hear about it. Well, whole UFO experiments use them, all of them. All of them are using torsion fields. Sometimes you just can't beat a good technology. So let's see. I'm not sure. I just had a bunch of diagrams inside Viamanos, and it says it was Viamana Shastra. Shastra. Sorry, I'm going to say that wrong every time. Let's see. Different book than the one Eighth was thinking of. Yeah, I heard about it on that History Channel when they went over there and they were talking about it. You know what I mean? The Ancient Alien series, they were talking about it, and I'd love to get a look at that book. Yeah, had somebody contact me about building a motor generator combo, and they deal with the same thing Mike's dealing with right now. He's dealing with the pushback you get when you run that stuff, and then you have to take the primary driving motor and drive through all of it. There was a guy on the internet who was saying that a way to fix that, and it had to do with changing angles and stuff like that. You change something to a 30-degree angle so that the other side of it would be an 1/8 inch. So you said the magnet was an inch or two wide and tall, right? Then the depth of that magnet was only 1/8 of an inch. Well, then your resistance is 1/8 of an inch, not 2 inches. So it changes the thing altogether. So when you rotate it, you can rotate it freely without as much pushback on it. And then, you know what I mean, take your flywheel that you're going to be building it on and reduce all the stuff out of the center and put it all on the outside, you know what I mean, and all the magnets out there, and get a heavier weight so that it spins faster and it keeps spinning. So yeah, there's some things with that, man. If you get too much back pressure on something when you're trying to build any kind of generator motor combo, if you're trying to do counter rotating ones, it puts fields everywhere, and it becomes a real mess if you don't understand, you know what I mean, how to get it curved out. It's a whole disaster. Trust me, I've tried it several times. I even tried to run the first layer at a 1/4 inch where you can get energy in the winding, and try to use eddy current at the next layer is aluminum, and that didn't work out either. So I tried a bunch of stuff on that. Let's see. Right on, man. Nice. Yeah, this resonance, by the way, it'll balance your system, and that's how you get more energy out of it. An unbalanced system will not give you more energy out of it; just won't. Generated torque, while the generator version will produce back pressure, since the coil and the magnetic static are not moving. Let's see. Only the disc rotate, allowing, and then the blocking of the fields, and have same steel filing, and attach any position of the other. I'll be honest with you, man. I like to put things at an angle. I just put it at an angle. That's it. It makes it so much easier. I've run a couple of these things, man. These fields suck. So you have to find a way to beat them. Now the best trick is just take transistors and put them on, put it in timing and turn off the field. Use magnetic coils and then just turn them off. I mean, depending on where this thing is going around, just turn them off. Way better. So much easier to deal with. Less problems that way. Have you tried a vacuum ABS alute? No. I don't even know what that is. The same the same problem people have with thinking the magnets have 2 poles, but it's the magnetic that has more than 1 pole. The view of the magnet is what gives you the impression that it's 2 different poles. Okay. Interesting. I just know, if you put steel on it, you'll cancel out that side. It's easy as that. They do it on your fridge magnets. take a look at them. They don't have a pole on the other side. The magnetic doesn't go through that steel, but it goes on the side the magnet is open. So it was the easiest, quickest way to do it. And I think it has to do with saturation rate. It cannot saturate that iron. And it'll do it over time, but it can't do it. I mean, at the level it needs to right away, so it blocks it. So let's see, breakthrough magnet gives you the same effects of poles, and slicing out from hurricane does it in rotation. Well, let's see, if you view the hurricane from under it, you're spinning in directions over the top, it's spinning in the direction of slicing a charge, you get the same rotation. Well, as soon as you start rotating any kind of voltage, you're going to get a magnetic field. There's no question about that. You can rotate an electric and get a magnetic field. You can start rotating your Tesla coil, and all of that electric field right there, put a coil that's kind of around on the inside of it, and you'll start to develop a big magnetic field inside of it. Yeah, you can do simple rotation, man, and get it. You just have to know if you need to add another layer of coiling or not. That's it. It's that simple. You know, I already did that experiment. It's kind of fascinating. You know, another reason you use your Tesla coil is because it can amplify your DC flyback in both the magnetism and the static portion of it. It'll increase both of them right away, and you'll have no problem putting all three together. Well, the two are already together, but you know what I'm saying. You can increase both sides with that, and it'll amplify the energy into them, because the Tesla coil, as you put the rod down the center of a Tesla coil, you put a wire down there. I like, again, to use like a 14 gauge wall wire because of the insulation on it, and run it down the center to do this. It'll amplify both of them because it acts as a neutral. And that's what Bob Greenyer was telling you, is this energy's like an electron, but it's like a fake electron, and that it acts as a neutral. Well, that's exactly what we're doing. And we can show that it amplifies both sides, you know what I mean, of that DC flyback. So you're able to get more energy, but you're not overrunning the thing where it's overheating. See, you're not overheating your DC flyback at any time with this. That's cool. You know what I mean? That's one of the big things that you'll look at. Otherwise, you're just going to be heating it up and it'll burn up on you. And I've had that multiple times. Yeah, I'm going to have to get some bismuth and try it. So I ordered some a while back. It never came in. Let's order it again. Interesting. Interesting stuff, that bismuth. Oh. Like no rotor, it gets hotter, fascinating. Bedini does some cool stuff, man. Sorry, get tongue tied here. The bismuth generates its own inverse magnetic field. So if it's the front of steel and behind it, it mimics the field bismuth and the magnet, making it more repulsive than plain bismuth. That's interesting to know. I should tell that to Mike. He'll like that, man. He's trying to do that motor that's self-run. You know what I mean? Perpetual motion. That's what he's working on. I wish I had the time this week to do that. I would have built an STL and just used the magnets I have. But I don't have any time on my hands these days. It's kind of all filled up. You can see I got 3 coils right there I need to wind. So quite significant, huh? Interesting. I think that bismuth is going to hide some stuff for UFO crafts. I'll be honest with you. I think the research you're going down and learning right now, it's going to play a big role in what we're doing there. That's what I honestly think, man. That stuff's the way to go. You say Bedini devices don't work? How many of them did you build? Just curious. In fact, he purposely designed the device to hide its true efficiency. Interesting. You study them. Okay. So, what in your studies made them not work? I'm just asking as curiosity. No Houdini builders have ever done the total energy experiment properly. You should say, um, studying them now. Well, one of the problems I've always seen, and this is just why I take on it. I haven't built one either. Um, is the fact that they keep using neodymium magnets, and then everybody and their mother has an excuse why instead of just using a regular magnet. And why not just build what he built? I mean, you're not getting anything else out of it. You're basically getting a spike of energy. And it does prove that it does do that. From everything I've ever seen, anyone who ever built one has seen the spike of energy. Now, what that actually does, I don't know. The spike of energy itself can be captured. Absolutely. No problem there. The one guy that built the little Geo Metro, he was taking, instead of a battery, he made a capacitor that was a quick discharge capacitor and quick fill up capacitor. And he said it was a battery, but it wasn't. It was a capacitor. So he was using that because anytime that you use anything like a Tesla coil to put an energy on stuff, the frequency's so high, it's hard to convert them. So what he did was he made a system that pulled in the energy and then made it usable right away. And he did it faster. You know what I mean? I thought that was really cool. That was one of the things I would love to see the patent on that so that I can replicate that, because that'd be awesome. Let's see. No worries. He uses a car battery to reabsorb the energy back into the back EMF. Is the main issue with this. So he used a capacitor as well. I saw him charge a capacitor, and I had done a test where you take that type of energy and charge a capacitor with it. Okay, hold on a minute. No one is going to sit there for 10 hours for a little motor to drain a car battery to proper total energy measurement. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I won't lie to you there, man. It takes some commitment to do some of this stuff. The efficiency falls apart when you do that. It wasn't, I don't want to say this. It wasn't a typical battery. It wasn't a typical capacitor. That was what I was interested about when I looked at this thing. Because these things don't charge right away. They take time to charge because you got too many volts, not enough amps and something. So it takes forever to charge. So that's why I was interested in that. Find the resonance of anything and it will sing. Well, that's absolutely true. No, that I've heard it. I've heard it many times. But matter of fact, if you have a chance in a yard sale and somebody has a oh man, the things I wear all the time, hearing aids. If you have a chance to pick up some hearing aids, you can hear a ton of ultrasonic frequencies with those things, and you'll hear anything sing. Trust me, man. I'm 80% deaf. Okay, I have to wear the headset to hear things. So yeah, those things pick up a lot of sound, and to somebody who can actually hear, it'd be even better. Let's see. Oh, okay. But then you started. Stated you needed a battery for the chemistry, but the chemistry hides the true charge due to the lag. Well, I'm gonna say this. This you do need a chemical process. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna need a chemical process to transfer this type of energy. But I think honestly, if we looked at Tesla's radiant energy patent, it'd be a lot easier. I mean, he just used an open air capacitor to transfer the energy. And it was a lot more efficient, I think, than the chemical process. The chemical process, by the way, is the only way when I used aluminum, it said aluminum something battery. They were blue. Excuse me, not a battery at all. It's a um, capacitor. It was the aluminum capacitor, and I think it has to do with the way you build a high voltage aluminum in your caps when you build them out that way. You know how you put the aluminum, you put the sheet of clear, and you put the aluminum again, then another sheet of clear, and you build it out like a capacitor. It quickly charges and discharges high voltage very well. And I have a feeling that's what that guy was doing. And it's because when you start using the blue capacitors in your system in order to pull this type of energy, they fill up like that. But since it's not the normal energy, the value on the capacitor means less. So you don't need 400 volt capacitors when you got like 12, 15, 20,000 volts going into this thing because you don't have any amps going into it. So that rating's a bit off. So you can use 50 volt capacitors to do this, and they'll charge and discharge faster. And I think that's what that guy was getting at. Different than Bedini, different system altogether. Again, the guy that built the Geo Metro that ran on free energy, if you ever saw that. And it's not Henry Gray, it's another guy. I can't think of his name right now. Oh, tying any coil to a magnetic consciousness, you can link an easy building something with a rector set. Nice. Let's see. Eric Dollar said that Bedini was stunned at the entire generation of electrical engineers and builders, and directly states he does not like him. Wow, you got a beef going, huh? Well, I'll be honest with you. With everybody doing this stuff, they're gonna find your secret. If you lied to them, they're gonna find it. There's no question about that. They're absolutely gonna find it. So, yeah, I'd like to just run the system to see what it looked like. To be honest with you, whether it runs, not runs, you know what I mean. If it doesn't live up to the hype, I'd like to build it because I want to see what they're looking at, what they're looking, into, why they're looking into it. Some of the times, man, when we take on projects, it's not necessarily to, try to do everything. You just kind of want to see what they were looking at. You know what I mean? If it's the same thing that you were looking at in another project, if it mirrors it in some way, some of the times, man, and I don't know about you, but I do that sometimes because I think there's something to learn there. And if you don't play with batteries a whole lot, it brings you into a different level of learning about batteries. See, I don't care if it goes 10 hours. I'll run that sucker dry, man. I could care less. So I have the patience for that. I know some people like to tinker right away. I got other toys. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? If it doesn't work out, then you put it on your channel as it doesn't work out. I mean, it is what it is. You know how many times I've had things fail? And then, somebody will come along and say, hey, try this. And, you know what I mean? And then it might start to work. That's the cool thing about YouTube, man, is everybody's on there and everybody has their own little niche that they figured out. And you get a little bit of everything. So that is one of the very cool things, man. Thank you very much for that, man. Yeah. I put in a lot of time and effort, man. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. If it, a lot of people in the community have built a Tesla coil like mine or bought one, and they're starting to see the information that I'm seeing. And you know what I mean? They're starting to see, hey, this is an actual phenomenon that works. So we're able to build it out like you said. You know what I mean? We could do so a lot of the things he's doing right away. You know what I mean? Sometimes you use different systems, so we have to buy some extra stuff, but they're starting to see the things that I do. I can't wait until somebody starts lighting up a pond like I can. then I really know everybody's got it. You know what I mean? The plant thing is awesome, by the way, with Dennis and what he's saying. Yeah, that was truly awesome because that's something that you would hear. You know what I mean? For sometimes you'd hear it from Hutchinson's wife, and she's talking about her plant growth and things like that. Just as a clue into what we're talking about on that, that all ties into what that was. Um, it also makes you ask the question: are you dilating a little time there, or are you just opening up the plant? And you can dispute that however you want. I just said it opened up the plant. That's all I saw. Time, I don't think it affected time, but the time it took to grow the plant, it did. So a little bit interesting there. Yeah, the overlapping information is what you want. There you go. Because I mean, I want to build a pulse motor. You know what I mean? Somewhere in the future, when I get all this stuff settled around my area here and I stop throwing things out around my garage, man, so I can get it cleaner, I'd like to take the time to just build the pulse motors to see what they're seeing, see if the spike is the same thing that I'm getting from my Tesla coil. If it's close, because I keep hearing, you know what I mean, it's potential energy. So usually that generally means 30 AC. And I just want to see for myself. Same thing you get from a generator before you're able to clean it up. That's what I want to see. You know what I mean? Are we getting there? Is it overlapping? Is it working the same way? Does it convert the same way? You know what I mean? What's the frequencies of it? I love to know all that stuff. Nice. Solar panel is a PWM by light and pressure. There you go. Oh man, thank you again, brother. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Oh man, using pure light from the planet for growth. There you go. Now that's something to do. Let's hook a. I need to buy a solar panel and just hook it up to the Tesla coil and see if it runs. Have you done that, Elijah? Have you hooked a solar panel, something like that? My ground is connected to the ground of the washer as well. Some ground as water ground. Yeah, we should absolutely do that. I wonder how many. Does anybody know 500 volt, 550 watts now? I just need. I'm going to say this. I only need about 8 volts and maybe 9 volts to be safe. Let's say 9 volts. And I need 900 milliamps. And I can start a Tesla coil easy. If a solar panel provides that, then I think we have it. What do we want to use the solar panel for? I straight up want to take the energy out of it and start a Tesla coil. And I don't know if I want it converted yet. You know what I mean? If it comes out raw in a different way, I want to see if that works first because I can take Tesla coil energy and run it into a transistor based on the saturation of energy in there, and I can get it to work, and it'll work properly at the correct frequency too. So I'm kind of curious. You study electrical theory and metaphysics for 10 years, and I can design almost anything in theoretical sense and find the flaws in it. Right on. Right on. Tiny solar cell. Okay. So they don't have to be like 300 and some odd watts, right? We only need something that's maybe, what did I say? I said 8 by that. So I basically need at least maybe what, 8 to 10 watts. Is that what you're saying? Maybe 15 watts, 20. I could do that. I could start a Tesla coil with 2 AA batteries, man. I have a circuit that'll do it right now. And I can do it with my big coil. No problem. So uh Yeah, Mike was showing us just the chemical process on how to do the lights for your garden too. That was pretty cool when he showed us that with the alum. And he was just showing you how it creates voltage out of there, and that you can do that. Your resonance formula is your profile pick. That's how it works. Nice. Very cool. Let me ask you, Society. Have you ever run an NPN from a Tesla coil? Just put some down the center of it or anything like that? I know a lot of people tell me that when they do the theory on stuff and they look at we'll just take transistors and stuff, right? In how they're supposed to work. And there's a conventional way they work, and I'm not disputing any of that. It's the unconventional ways that I like to look at. Have you ever run across something like that where you just use energy sources you're not supposed to use and then it runs it? I mean, I don't know about you, but I hook this thing up about every which way possible to find out what it can and cannot run. And I found out more times than not, as long as you can bring a saturation rate to the material, it'll turn on. So I was just curious, man. Everybody has their own niche in that. So I'm just curious. Let's see, 12 AI bots to create it in ultimately lead video to you. Nice. AI bots. Hold on a minute. Ultimately led me to you. Well, that's pretty interesting, man. Really interesting. You didn't put me in Chat GPT, did you? Just have my name come up? That's funny. Oh. You like the Tesla hairpin circuit? Nice. I like that one too. Not sure, by the way, but I know some transistors are more efficient than others and might resonate better with high cycling efficiency rates. Gotcha. You've built the Tesla hairpin before? Well, that's cool, man. Then you've seen all the effects that we're looking at, right? With all the water and stuff, and how you can put the light in the water and do all that, and then it doesn't shock the living daylights out of you. Like one of the freakiest things that I tried when I did it was first time you put your hand in the water, you're always worried in case it shocks the living daylights out of you. Oh, by the way, if we're running an NPN backwards, just so you know, with a neon, it's based on saturation rate. It isn't based on the electrons in the holes. Just like they tell you in theory, it's based on the saturation rate. So it's just so everybody understands the context of that. I have a circuit on my channel that I show everybody, and it runs backwards on an NPN. And if you know about saturation rate, then it's pretty easy because all they are is they put enough in there, and they always show you like this, and it has little lines, right? Well, that's just your saturation. Once I figured that out, man, you can run those things any which way you want. With bifilar coils, you did? Well, you should have been able to take the bifilar, separate them, pull them back and forth, and create that energy between them, that dielectric. That's what I normally see. And you're going to get a ton of saturation when you run the hairpin circuit because it reduces the RF down to almost nothing. So the amount of energy coming out of those things would be a lot. Yeah, kind of. Well, let's put it this way. If I had 3 wires, right, and they're sitting like this, and then one sitting up like this, right, and I wanted to contact, these 2 right here, the one standing up and the one on this side right here, okay, then I would take this one right here and put enough energy in it to saturate both of them. So it would go to that one and that one, okay? I just put enough energy into it. And the way some of this energy builds out, because it'll build out a field from it, just from the tip of it, without sparking over, it'll be able to do that. When it sparks over, it fails. There's no question about that. But the energy that we're building out of the center of the Tesla coil, it doesn't spark over that easy like that. It'll saturate first. So, and it'll do it at the frequency of the coil itself. So, yeah, that's what I was talking about, the saturation rate. I mean, you're just putting in too much. There's also a case where you get to, Bedini was actually talking about, which is kind of interesting. They're in the batteries themselves, they have holes in the plates, right? And we normally think about the positive putting in the electron and goes into the hole, right? Well, running it negative wouldn't allow the electron to go through the hole anymore. It would cover the hole with energy. So it wouldn't allow it to go in there. So it would reject the positive energy after a while and only allow it to be done with the negative energy. That's one of the effects that I wanted to see. Because if it does that, it's an interesting effect, right? It may cause different things to happen. So, yeah, I mean, saturation in a transistor is pretty easy. I mean, because that's the way the materials work. I mean, that's why they stack them the way they do. When you have your base all around, is what they call it. You know what I mean? Around the 3 wires that you see, and then you have the base that goes around the entire thing. As soon as they turn on that base and it saturates, it'll turn on each one of them, right? So if you think about it in that way instead of the electron way, then you can manipulate it. So that's what I was talking about. Have you ever taken an electron lamp and connected it to a voltmeter? I have not. Ning Lee, if I'm not mistaken, she did the mesh on the crafts, right? And she worked on UFO research. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how you did that. Let me know on my email if you get a chance. You know what I mean? That'd be interesting. I'll have to make a hairpin circuit here in the near future, and then we could check it out. Let's see. If you have a computer on or box fan in the mains, you can't get the spiral coil up at a cap bank. Otherwise, it does. Okay, that must be the answer to somebody else's question. Let's see. Baked and dope iron pyrite. You can make it easy, vary transistor or responds to the frequency you want. Nice. Funny things you learned when you started hooking in wires everywhere, huh? Nice. Yeah. Here, you have my email? I'll put it in here. There you go. You can email the exact setup of what happens when I attach the light bulb to the hairpin circuit, and instead of let's see, tracting light like normal bulb, a solid ghost bulb made of static would lag. Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. Like 3 or 4 seconds behind with swinging bulb. Not a tracer, a solid bulb made of static. I'll have to follow your instructions then. That's interesting. ADX, thank you again, brother. Taking care of me today, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Incandescent bulb with tungsten filament. A bulb made of static. Now, do you mean that that's just like a ball of energy? Is that what you're saying there? Or are you saying an actual bulb? The thing has been noted by other explanations in the dark room. You could see the Tesla pancake coil pumping static energy that looks like it creates a tail or some kind of vortex. Interesting. Some of the earliest LED replacement, I turned them on and off in the off. They went to touching the lamp and the LED would glow before you turned it on. When's the next bulb light up for the next stockpile? I'm trying to figure out some LED ones that I want to use, to be honest with you. I have some little car ones that I wanted to use, but I got to print out the STL for them. So I don't want to hold them. Those things suck to hold. They heat up right away. Well, so you think the solid light bulb is swung instead of a tracer. What happens is the solid replica of the bulb would lag behind, and it was made of static ghost bulb. Well, yeah, you show them something different, man. They're all over that. High pressure sodium bulb is glowed. Purple will stay away from a few minutes later. Nice. Yeah, it's interesting. I think Limited State would like to see that. He would like to see me just replicate a patent the right way, to be honest with you. Never could get into the camera due to the camera's ability to put up static fields. No, I haven't tried it. Cool. Yeah, I like those light bulbs, man. Well, once you figured out you could do LEDs, you could do like anything you wanted, basically. Light up anything with it. That's what I like. But send me the email with the schematics. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. I'm definitely going to try that. So I'll have to pull out some of the old motors and stuff I have and see if I can get a spark gap going and rotational spark gap. Get onto the high voltage side a little bit. Because if I'm not mistaken, the original used a spark gap Tesla coil, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a bipolar design because the primary wrapped around the entire thing. So, yeah, we'll have to do that way then. High pressure from sodium mercury vapor resonates in properties through glass when heated. You know, I do have the mercury lights, and they do that, and they do glow blue. As a matter of fact, they glow really blue, man, when you start to get them rolling. And the inside portion of it actually glows really bright too. And if you turn them down after they're heated, you start to get a swirl that appears in there. Those mercury lights are a trip, but you're also X-raying the living daylights out of yourself. So you have to watch out, and that's just because of the way you're adjusting your Tesla coil to do it. With that fry the bulb, there's not enough energy in it to fry the bulb. Those things are built tough. He said, it can fry it. I haven't put enough energy in to find out, to be honest with you. Tungsten's tough. Yeah, I use that as spark gaps every once in a while. I use the green one. So Gerard Morin back in the day said to get those, and that's the ones I got, and I used them. They were good. Everything else around them melts before that tungsten ever gets, to the level it even thinks about melting. It's $50. They were. I saw some for $16 on eBay. If you look on there, Secondary arc might damage the glass. Well, I'll tell you what I did do. I took a ball jar and I put suction on it, right? So I was pulling the air out of it, but then I was putting the energy into it. And I had this, just round ball looking thing in there. And then I wrapped wire on the outside. And when you grounded the wire on the outside, the energy would go to it and make a, beautiful look for the energy inside there. So the funny thing was about that glass is I said, okay, well, I wanted to freeze it later. And when I did freeze it, the glass snapped in all little pieces. Just from the pressure of the cold. I think the high voltage that was in there was weakening the glass. So it was kind of a interesting outcome to that. But yeah, I mean, I guess I should know that. It takes voltage to create it, it takes voltage to break it down. So I did it for a few seconds. Yeah, the secondary arc damages the glass. Yep, I saw it. I'm going to have to do the spark gap that you did. And it goes back to kind of what Mike was doing with the cap bank with his energy. And this is what I mean about overlapping systems. He uses a pulse motor and he's getting potential energy, right? But it's the fact that he pulls the energy the same way I would with a draw. So he was using a spark gap in his system. I wonder if I can get that spark gap to give me more amps out of it. He says it does. So I kind of want to put that to the test and do what you did, Dennis, and get that spark gap going in there. I think we may have a different result when it comes out, and how it's done. We may be able to convert this a lot better using the spark gap versus anything else. Thunderstorm generator, yeah, that thing's amazing, man. Or did you say you're having a thunderstorm at your house and the energy goes wild? Because that I would believe. Yeah, it might be the temperature differential. I think honestly, I just think it weakens the glass. So I get worried about some of the glass. Now, what I did see when I had a coil inside of a coil, okay, and they're around the same exact way, just no attachment to each other. I put this glass bowl looking thing. And it, it's rounded like this and has a little top to it. And I put it on there and I was getting steam out of it, but there was not a lot of heating whatsoever going on the bowl. Usually you have to boil the water to get steam. I wasn't boiling it at all. And the thing was steaming a little bit. That was an interesting effect. That tripped me out. So, yeah, thunderstorms at your house. Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're grounded in and you got all that water going on in the system you're running. Yeah. So I would imagine thunderstorms are a very fun time for you. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I could see that happening. The glass cooled faster than the copper, maybe. Hum and change the wind. Nice. What happens if you put a MEMS out down the middle of the Tesla coil? It would be the color, and it would flow in that environment. Yeah, I've done it. You can put it down there. They're hot to hold, so you got to get something to hold them. Let's get a wrench or something to hold them. Pair of pliers. But yeah, they'll heat up. They'll turn on, and I haven't seen a color change in them, but they do start to try to spark over to the number 2 winding when you do it. So you have to be kind of careful about that. And it sucks because you have to have it on when you do that. So you're changing the frequency on it, and if you don't have the frequency in a good place, it's gonna, try to overheat and shut down your system right away. So that's why I change these things out. You know what I mean? Or I stop the coil, then do it, and then turn it back on. For that very reason, because then they'll oscillate properly. Otherwise, it puts strain on your system. Yeah, well, what he's doing with the thunderstorms is He's got his energy system based on in his house, you know what I mean, running on the piping going through his house. So yeah, he's got a little bit of a take on any groundwater getting into the piping that's going on in his house, and then you know what I mean, the energy in it. Yeah, it is having a totally different effect. Probably throwing that meter way off, to be honest with you. Oh, it's changing stuff all right. He's getting an energy dump from what I understand. There you go. Concrete's an interesting thing, huh? Sucks up all the water, so it's always at the surface underneath it. Nice. Oh, see, a lot to learn to do it proper. Well, you're getting there, man. You're doing all the tests. That's the important part. Oh, let's see. For pirates. This stuff is hard to draw. Oh, man. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. If I'm right and it's the same thing Bob was talking about that we have, then we have everything we need. We won't need anything else. It's this type of energy. It's special. And it doesn't come along every day, and it does not act like normal energy. Trying to draw pancake coils for diagrams, yeah, because the wires are right next to each other. Yeah, I get it. Oh, yeah, like I said, man, when you find out what it does to plants, when you find out what it does to stone, I mean, look, here's a good thing for you. If you have any granite laying around, okay, or you see one in a yard sale, you know, a chunk of granite for whatever reason, go over to it and buy it. And if you have this testicle, what I encourage you to do is get the granite soaking wet. Put it in a big bucket of water. Okay, get it just drenching wet. Connect that wire right to the granite. And then go over and take any wire you want to. Okay. And it'll spark over easily. You can do the same thing on your concrete at home. Just take the wire down the center, put it to your concrete on a cold morning, and you'll spark that concrete all day long. Um, So yeah, they showed that one thing that looked like a AC flyback in Egypt. Remember that? And it said so many thousand volts. Well, that's how he did it. He ran the rod down the center of his Tesla coil, connected it to it, and it did that energy. All he had to do was place that thing on top of a water source, and you knew it was on a water source because he used concrete in between, and the concrete itself sucks up water like a sponge. So does a granite. And then energy transfers through this type of energy very easily. So you could have just taken a screwdriver and touched the outside and it'd spark off. But what does that also mean? So he said, check this out. An EDM machine basically works on high voltage, right? You have high voltage that saturates a piece of metal. Then you have high voltage that comes down and sparks in one direction. Okay? Pretty easy, right? What do we also see? If I take something metal and I rub it against granite and I pull on it like this, right? It'll actually create sparks, right? That's not hard to figure out. It does that. So now if I take a piece of wire and I do that as well, what am I getting? I'm getting sparks. If I put sand in there, I get more sparks, right? But what happens when you saturate this thing full of water and then you put this type of energy into it? As you spark it, it sparks back, but it starts to spark back with plasma. So you're creating a way to cut it faster. That's basically what it comes down to. It's an understanding of an EDM machine and the understanding of this type of energy along with the water process. You start cutting this thing faster, just like that. Not a problem. You start going through it like it was nothing. And if you ever seen those things where they have the granite, that's what they're doing. They're using these wires to cut them, right? Well, if you put this type of energy in there, I bet you I can use those sparks to my advantage and get this thing cut a lot faster right through it. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting test. If you guys come up with it before I do, but by all means use it. But that's what I'm going to do next when I get some more granite. I've been looking at yard sales, but I haven't found any yet. So, and I'm not paying an arm and a leg for it. All right. But that's one of the next tests. You posted a cool video of the Tesla coil where you're spinning an arc. Okay, I gotta check it out. Hold on, give me a second. Let's see. Let me go to your channel here. Look at that. Oh, you got some cool band going on in the background, huh? That's awesome. Sorry, I can't play the music. I don't want to get in trouble. Oh, look at that. Oh, that was cool. I like that. Got his own special effects. That's so awesome. Yeah, he's using the PMP driver is the one he's using. That's a single wire. You're right, John. That's the same Corona discharge I was getting, except for he slowed it down, man. I made it look like a portal for the band guys. That's amazing. That's cool. Goes up 24 volts. That was probably 24 volts. Nice. So for those of you who don't know, remember the Wingy contest we did? Dead Fish won he won the Tesla Coil. So that's the Tesla Coil he's running right there. He's got 32 gauge, just like you got on yours, Darren. Same coil. Yeah, well, he's running the same coil I got, so he's got the same breakout. Yeah. Yeah. He won, man. Yeah, that was a fun day, man. All right. That was a fun day eating wings, man. I burned the living daylights out of my mouth, but it was still fun. I mean, yeah, I took out my dentures, man, and here I am, bare gums, eating this stuff, and it just some of that stuff, man, just make your eyes water. The first ones weren't so bad; they were like, "Oh man, this is going to be a better day than I thought," right? And then we get to the one with all the big chili peppers in it, and I'm like, "Oh," you know what I mean? You can see my face is. It instantly looked like granny face, you know what I mean, with no dentures. It was like sucked in, and then I was going for all that liquid pretty quick, and my son had taken the last of the milk that day, so there was no milk to calm it down. And then, of course, Joe had to put in the what was it, the spirit of death or whatever that hot sauce was, man. Yeah, that one got me for a good 30, 40 minutes, man. That stuff did not want to go away. So, oh yeah, eyes are watering, my butt and pucker. There you go. That's what happened. No good around there. And that was just hilarious. Satan's blood. Yeah, there you go. God, it's the only one that you picked out, by the way. So it should have been the immediate red flag of, hey, there's a reason he's doing this. So yeah, that was funny, man. Good times, man. Good times. Because you didn't have to do that to win. No, yeah, that shit. See, Joe, that shit was hot, man. That was terrible. By the way, we're gonna have to have another contest soon enough. You know what I mean? Well, I want to. Joe's gonna go mining soon, man. So when he goes mining, if he picks up a cool looking stone there, man, that'd be awesome to give away at the next contest, or we'll give away a coil. We'll give away something, man. Maybe a cap bang. But we'll have to figure out something cool to do for all of us to get in there. Use oil. I could, man. I could have used anything because that stuff burnt. Oh, yeah, that stuff was bad. The bomb, yeah. I don't know, man. You know, I what I did was well, there you go. I don't know if you put that in there right. I think you tried to say milk and drink the milk afterwards. Well, drink them if you got them, I guess. Um, oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah. We'll have to do another contest, man. Oh, let's see, Slurpee Chuggy. Oh, the brain freeze. Like immediate brain freeze. Oh, okay. Dude, I could do that. Like a 44-ounce Slurpee or something like that, man. And see if see if we chug it down. We'll have to do that one in the wintertime, man, because in summer you'll never make it home in time with it cold enough, I don't think. Oh, but I agree with you. That would be awesome to see your brains frozen on TV. That's cool. Yeah. Nice. We get to be tortured for you guys' amusement. I love it. Fire and ice. Ooh. Yeah, I could have used a Slurpee on that day. That was for sure. The highest number of cracks without water. Oh, crackers without water. I can do a lot of crackers without water. I can go through packs of them, man. I'd probably go through the whole box. Let's see. Oh, level 5, huh? Fire and Ice Challenge. Shot of buttermilk. My dad loved buttermilk, man. The rest of us wanted to barf as soon as we had it. Huh. Man, yeah, we'll figure out another contest, man. We'll get something going. I think the frozen Slurpee I like. I just you gotta get it transported. You know what I mean? Without it melting for both of us. So in the summertime it's gonna be real bad. Yeah. Oh, that's great though. First burn your mouth off with a bunch of chicken wings and then turn around and hit it with a cold Slurpee and freeze your brain out. Oh, well, yeah, we could always do that. Pick some gross stuff to do shots of. You know what I mean? Like, what is that god awful stuff? Apple cider vinegar. Oh, you do shots of that, man, you want to barf. Or just do buttermilk with it. Oh, that'd be even gross. Buttermilk shot, man, those things are bad enough. We could do a beer chugging contest. Now, I have a good chance in that one, man. I could chug some beer. So I think we don't drink very much, either one of us. So yeah, I think we'll both be tanks probably by the 12th one. So yeah, old man bongs, huh? I just get hungry. Wings and beer. There you go. I've eaten potato chips the whole show. You watch. That'd be funny. Oh my God, there's no human alive that does that. Don't tell me that. That stuff is disgusting. Oh, he'd win. There you go. Oh, you'll win that one too. Yeah, gain it all back. Shit. Oh man, I remember those days, man. You used to do that stuff. You blow out the smoke going halfway around the house because you were young and you had good lungs. Now you're lucky if you can not cough. Yeah, those are the good old days. Yeah, we had a drinking beer contest, man. And just understand that I don't drink a whole lot in my life, so you know what I mean. We were just over there one day. My buddy said, "Let's do it." And of course, I got to have a challenge a little bit. So before I was done, man, I was just taking the beers, opening them, and just leaning back and just setting up at a distance and letting it go in, man. Didn't need a bong, didn't need nothing. Just drop it in. Yeah. Let me just say, after a little while, everything started to spin, and the Gatorade I had that morning came up everywhere. It was a complete disaster. Complete disaster. Yeah, that's funny. Huh. Yeah, we all get in trouble there, man. We think we can handle more than we can right now, and we've been out of it for a while. 6 days of constant movement, you're sore. Yeah, dude, I'm there with you. Yeah, go down fast. It comes up faster. Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Limited. You're absolutely right. Oh man. Yeah, I get in trouble doing that stuff. Nah, we don't want to do that. We'll start talking about things we all shouldn't talk about and then piss everybody off. Yeah, those kind of shows don't go down well. Oh, full pull-ups, dude. I can't do a pull-up to save my life, to be honest with you. I'm way too fat for that. Yeah, I don't drive at all when I do that stuff. It's not worth it. Yeah, I got kids that are of age, man. They can drive me where I need to go if I need to do that. Nah, but usually you just keep it under control. We should have some barbecue eating contests, man. I don't know that there's ever a loser in that, is there? Like, what kind of barbecue can you eat or how much of it? You know what I mean? That might be a good contest right there. You know what I mean? Do a little brisket, see how it turns out, man. And that might be good. Do some ribs. Yeah. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, you're not getting away with a winner in that one. Oh, Joe probably spiked the barbecue sauce to win. Put all kinds of hot sauce in it. Oh, sounds like an excuse to have barbecue. It is. Oh, there you go. Donut drink dunking. Mm. Got a rack of ribs yourself and full bowl of coleslaw. Well, I got you beat there, buddy. We go down and get a sampler at the barbecue place, man. Polish all of it off and an extra rack. So yeah, I love barbecue, man. Yeah, my granddaughter, man. I've been watching her lately on my days off, and we were eating ranch together, right? So she gets her little fork and she puts it in the ranch, and then she, oh, mom, you know what I mean? Gets the ranch, and I got to make sure she eats her chicken nuggets. So she then puts it in her little nuggets, you know what I mean? And then gets it in the ranch and make sure she gets plenty of it to eat it, right? But then she just licks off a little bit of the ranch and then eats the nugget. Well, I put out barbecue sauce the other day, man, and she absolutely loved it. She's like, okay, no more ranch. Grandpa, it's barbecue sauce time. And all over it, man, was like, gotta have this. So she's like 2 years old, man. So, but we always eat lunch together and things like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, she's totally on that with me. And then even the French fries, she's like, well, I gotta have the barbecue sauce. So my wife was laughing. She goes, "You're making her just like you." And I go, "Well, you have me watch her all day. We're going to do the things Grandpa does." You know what I mean? So yeah, she comes over and she helps me out in the morning. We go and water things, in the front yard. She likes to pick the little flowers and stuff, and then she fills up the little cat dish we have outside for the outside cats that come around. So yeah, it's a fun time for me, man. So I can't run like I used to, and she likes to haul butt everywhere. Kids, man, they got so much energy. All right, sorry. That's what I do in my days off. Sometimes it's Grandpa Day. Hot dogs. Oh, we could do a hot dog eating contest. That'd be cool, man. 6 rings, man. Box of macaroni. You gotta eat in like 5 minutes. Wow. Hot dogs you could do. Nice. Yeah, would you have toppings or non-toppings? Is it like onions on it? You know what I mean? Do you have any relish? What are you putting on them? My favorite thing, man, is the pretzel bun with the hot dog. Oh, I go to Wiener Schnitzel just for that when I see them in town, man. Tesla Coil cooked hot dogs. I don't know that I want that taste. I don't know that I want that at all. It's like the hot dog cooked on the on the radio station tower. Yeah, no, thank you. Oh man, yeah, no hot dogs with donut glazing. That would that'd be horribly bad. That would taste like hell. Nobody wants that. You miss Wiener Schnitzel so bad, dude. Wiener Schnitzel's the bomb. I love Arby's too. Dude, I remember Arby's used to be like what 5 for $5 as we're going to the beach. So you go over to the beach, man, rock out 5 for $5 on the way back home. Yeah, those are some times, man. Go out boogie boarding and stuff. Look out for sharks and well, in California. And then yeah, 5 for $5 at Arby's on the way home, man. Those are some days. Having fun, Alvin. Food talk is killing me. Oh, yeah. There you go, fully loaded. Wiener Schnitzel's the bomb, bro. I like Wiener Schnitzel. Arby's is too, though. Time to eat. Good thing it's around dinner time, man, because when we get going on food, it's like I'm hungry myself. Oh, yeah, well, that's what the government's telling us, that's for sure, eh? Get to the natural stuff. I had a big garden in my backyard, man, 20 foot by 20 foot raised bed garden. And man, it was awesome. Used to put out all kinds of good stuff in there, man. You'd let it grow and grow bigger than normal and you'd eat it. Man, that stuff was great. Salads all the time. I grew strawberries out in the back. They were a little bit sweeter. You know what I mean? Maybe just because I felt they were because they were something I did. But yeah, put a little bit of strawberry in your salad, man. You'd be surprised that little bit of sweetness. It really turns out good. But then again, these days they put truffles in your salad, which is I don't like that, but yeah, a little bit of sweet strawberry. Your wife is making burgers? Nice. Very good, man. Oh, yeah, dude. As far as sauces, I think oh, you need my email again? Okay. There you go. Oh, well, with the plants, it's good, man. So yeah, you go out there, take some cauliflower, get yourself some. Uh, how do I say this? You get onions in there, you get bell peppers in there, uh, broccoli goes in there, you get some carrots in there. You know what I mean? You put them all in there, and you got this beautiful range of stuff. Then you go ahead and you put some garlic salt on there, and you go ahead and put a little seasoned salt on there, and you put a little olive oil with it, and then I always like some garlic with it, and then you spin it all up together, okay, and you have it in a tray, and you put it in the oven. Now, if you like them crunchy, about 30 minutes will do it. If you like them a little softer because you have no teeth and you're old like me, 45 minutes. But either way, man, they come out really good and beautiful vegetables, man. And by baking them like that, you're not boiling them and getting rid of the nutrients out of them. So they're still really good. So always love the garlic, man. Nice. Yeah. Gotta love cooking, man. Try different things. Oh, collard greens is one of my favorites. I make collard greens too. You got to take some of the ham, man, and you got to put it in with some bacon and get that bacon grease on there. And once you have that flavor, when you put them in there in the collard greens, man, make sure you get some of that stuff with some real spicy stuff in it. Is what you want. And don't take out any of the bones in the ham. You want to leave that ham bone in there. You know what I mean? We're all a little bit of cavemen in there. We want to gnaw on the bone a little bit. Most of it falls off anyway. It's just some good stuff, man. It has that nice flavor, that bacon taste in there. Oh, man, it's good. Oh, let's see. Yeah, what is that right there? That's a guava. Is that what you're looking at right there? Guavas are good. Nice. What the we don't use any of that. Kiwi. Oh, there you go. Not guava, kiwi. You're right. Absolutely right on that. Yeah, I got it wrong. I definitely got it wrong. I was thinking of the same thing you guys were, but I didn't say the right thing. You could get some purple juice from Bernie. You've been chugging that stuff down lately. Says it's sweet. He'll be replacing his sweet tea with the purple juice. What's up, Bernie? I saw that today, man. He gets a good chugs on that sucker. Right on, brother. I'm going to take a look at that and see exactly how you did it because that sounds really cool. Purple Drake, yeah, that's right. Nice. Yeah. Mango's good. Oh, mango's really good. I like mango too. Yeah, fruits and vegetables, man. I actually enjoy the sweetness of the fruits and stuff more now that I got older. And the vegetables, by the way. It like you probably do the same thing I do when you go out to you get some green beans and you just you put them you put them in the pan and you just want to get them boiling a little bit with some water in there. And then just after a little bit, you put them in a bath of ice and it stops the cooking process. And then you put them back in the pan when the pan's empty and you put a little bit of butter in there. You know what I mean? And then give it a little garlic salt. Oh man, boom, perfect. I do that with a lot of vegetables. I love asparagus when you do that a little bit. Man, that stuff's really good too. Yeah. I think as we get older, man, we get drawn to that stuff. I remember as a kid, I didn't want to eat it at all. You know what I mean? Like you get Brussels sprouts. Now, dude, it's like a joy to get Brussels sprouts. When you cook them up and you get that little bit of, and it sounds wrong, but you get a little bit of burn on the outside, give that little bit of extra flavor, a little bit. You get a little extra butter in there, man. Oh, those things are really good then. Yeah. You slept longer after that stuff, man? Oh, man. Yeah, that was pretty wild this morning, man. He was doing that. He showed the silver. I saw the coins in there, and I saw the silver right in front of it, and it was like a clear with silver in it. Man, it looked pretty cool. Yeah, we saw the white stuff too, Bernie. So that was a good show, man. I like that when you show the lab stuff like that. Brussels and asparagus, absolutely. A little bit of char, that's right. Okay, bottom a little brown. Oh, a little brown sugar, huh? Little bit of butter. I know the butter. I didn't know the brown sugar one. Okay. Salt and pepper. Oh, yeah. Pepper's good. Oh, yeah. I don't know what it is about pepper these days, but even on my eggs, man, I like the pepper more than I do the salt. So he was awake for 4 days. He finally got some sleep. Yeah, we seen Bernie's garden out there, man. Bernie had a good garden, man. Yeah. I have to find pictures of my garden so I can show you guys. Yeah. Bernie's got a good garden out there, man. Should get you one of these Tesla coils, Bernie, so you can put the Tesla coil water in there, man. Pretty sweet. Yeah, the purple juice. You remember that one this morning, man? Did you watch that, Dennis? He was doing the purple juice. Yeah, he got the purple drink. Bottle and sell it. I don't know if you can. You may have to go through a lot of approval to get that done. Yeah. Well, see how it goes, man. Put you down after 4 days of being up. That's wild. No, thank you. You got to sleep, buddy. You got a big time at Tesla Tech coming up. Oh man, gift exchange, nice. Yeah, I wish I could have made it to Tesla Tech this year, man. There's no way I wouldn't have the money fast enough. So, seaweed, huh? Never really tried that. I've seen a lot of the stuff come up in California on the shores, but I never tried that one. Hmm. Interesting. That's a lot of cool stuff out there, man. I love cooking. You know what I mean? When you're out there making something good, or you take the roast, you put the twine on it, okay, and then you use some butter, or it's not butter, you mustard, and you want to use that Grey Poupon or something like that. It's kind of one of those Richie mustards, and you put it on the outside, man, and you sear that stuff in. Man, do those things come out a lot better. And you want to put the little potatoes, those little round ones, underneath, man. You know what I mean? Where everything is, so that the juices that fall off of it go right into it, man. Oh, that's a bomb right there. Oh man. Man of the box, brother, you are awesome, my friend. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, man. Awesome, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? Some of this cooking stuff, man, that's what we need to do. Because last time Joe showed me up on the cooking, man, I did like 2 seconds of cooking, and he's out here master chefing it. You know what I mean? Showing us all kinds of different techniques. I'm gonna have to step up what I show, man, on how we're doing the cooking. So I know it's not a cooking channel. It's just fun to enjoy to watch it once in a while. And hey, for those of you who didn't know, Benefactor man is doing some stuff now. He's coming on lives again. I asked him to come on and do the show, man, and show his coil and everything else, and see what he's been up to. So if he takes me up on the invite, man, it's going to be totally awesome to have him. So yeah, just let you guys know here coming up in the future. Just remember cooking in science. There you go. God, cooking is science, yeah. It's all about when you put in each ingredient to get the flavor to build in different layers. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I want to see what the benefactor's up to, man. So he's got a bunch of coils, experiments. He's got circuits. Yeah, he's got a full thing, man. I told him to give him the whole show to talk about his project when he's ready. So nice. But I think he's going to vote Bernie, but I don't think he means you, Bernie. Oh yeah, yeah. He says he's going to be on mic, so we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see him this Friday probably. Uh, by the way, just so you guys know, on Fridays I always try to stop it into League of Extraordinary Inventors with Mike over there. Sometimes I'm a little late because I got to get dinner for the family in the middle between my show and his. But yeah, we do that show every Friday. It's 6 p.m. Eastern, excuse me, Pacific Standard Time. Mike's in Canada, so it's a little later for him. I think it's 9 o'clock for him. But yeah, we'll be there, and hopefully Ben's there, man. Give us some updates, stuff like that when he's on there. If he's free on Wednesday, man, the door's still open for that day as well if he wanted to. and I'll drop him a message on that too. So yeah, be good to see Ben. You're absolutely right. I'll be honest with you, man. I'd like to see both of them. I'd like to see Ben and Gerald and come on and just do one show. You know what I mean? Do a little reunion, man. Get everybody back together and just have a good time for a couple hours. That'd be pretty sweet. Jeremy was just on with Danny. I saw some of that before I came in, man. Yeah, get Ben on. Yep. I'm trying, man. And Gerald, yeah. We're going to have everybody pop in, man, do a Fringe Think Tank reunion and have a little fun. Set up something just fun for the day to do. You know what I mean? I think that'd be awesome. I'll get those guys to eat some wings and burn their mouths off. How about that? There we go. We'll give something away then. How about that? I'll ask them to do the show. We'll all burn our mouths off on a bunch of wings or something. You know what I mean? And get our Slurpee headaches on. And we'll just have a bunch of fun and we'll give something away. How about that? That would be awesome. We'll have Bernie over there judging us for our ice melting headaches when we take the Slurpee challenge and we chug 44 ounces of a Slurpee to see whose head can freeze over and how much pain we get into. Yeah, that'd be an epic show. That would be so fun. I would be up for that even if I had to burn my mouth off again. Absolutely epic is what it would be. Love that, man. So, yeah, we'll yeah, I'll ask him, man. Super big gulp. There you go. Slurpee days. See, let's get Bernie involved in that. Get him have a frozen melon like the rest of us. You know what I mean? Freeze all of our heads. Oh. Yeah, it's all clean fun, man. It's all good stuff. We don't get in trouble and nice. Yeah, we'll all be safe. We'll all be in pain though. God, you know we're all going to be in pain. There's no getting around that. That's what's hilarious about it. You know what I mean? All of us. Should get Faraday to come over with us too. Oh man, we have to get Phil. Maybe we'll have to do it twice, man. And I'll just have a giant show. Oh man. I agree. Everybody, just let everybody have at it. See what happens. Oh. All right, guys, man. It's been fun. I really do appreciate everything, guys. I just want to say thank you to a bunch of people out there. Yanni became a member, man. Right on, brother. Ulysses, hooked me up today, man. 80X, you're the man. Took care of me several times today. I want to say thank you for that. Man in the box, dude, lost. You're awesome, brother. I want to tell you, man, things like this really help out, man, when we do a lot of these experiments out there. So we'll put it into good use, man, and get some cool stuff out there. Society of High Sciences, we're going to be replicating your project over there. So I look forward to it. I will email you if I have any questions. Yes, absolutely. Man, you guys have been awesome tonight, man. Thank you very much. And have a great day.
The old man Bill, man. The old man Bill, man. The old man Bill, the old man builds. The old man builds is broken in the head. People not seeing reality has put them in the red. Where conscious and spirituality been stricken from the norm and replaced with the ignorance of basic magnetic form. The geometry of God keeps running through his head. That's what makes old man builds broken in the head. The old man builds. The old man builds. Spheres of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to instead. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. Fears of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment withstand. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. Fears of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time. Battling the establishment for just a little recognition has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to extend. The old man builds.